Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show on this Tuesday, the 7th of September, 2021. Thank you for tuning in. Well, let's get right in there and get started. And let's open up the charts right here and take a look at what's going on. Over in China, there's a big corporation, Evergrande it's called, and it's a liquidation panic. There's a panic going on over in China right now. It's $300 billion, but it's threatening to expand out larger into the Chinese junk bond market. They're making these no longer eligible collateral in the repo market after a ratings downgrade on Monday. It's a rout going on right now in this Evergrande, and it says the Shanghai exchange data showed that the bond sliding more than 25% to a low of 40.18 yuan after the redemption of trade on Monday afternoon. So they got a problem over there. It's starting to expand within their junk market. It's a big problem. It's a $300 billion problem. They're saying it could be the next Chinese version of what happened with Lehman Brothers in the United States. These kind of problems take time to play out, so we're going to have to keep our eye on it. But it's a big problem, and it could escalate into a big problem for the world's financial system. At the same time, we got silver over here. Now this is in our market here. We're looking at a drop of 48 cents today on the price of silver, down to 24.18. I'm going to tell you guys what. I think the silver market's going to break pretty soon. Can't put a finger on it. I can't see how much silver is in inventory available for sale into the open market behind the scenes and where they're getting it. But I just have this gut feeling that they're getting awfully low. And if they do run out, guys, it's going to be one of these things where it happens all at once. And what can make them run out is the fact that they're trading this paper, which is a derivatives product of silver, and they're using it to drive the price of the real silver. They drive it down low enough. It's down 48 cents just today alone. The real silver is going to disappear faster as the price gets dropped down. More and more big players will come in. They see a bargain, they see an opportunity, and this is what rich people do, is when they see a bargain or an opportunity, they jump on it. But now we're reaching a stage in the game where, well, see, for years and years, the big thing holding big money out of precious metals was allocation. It's a huge problem. I know it's not a problem for you guys. You guys go out and buy a roll of whatever, maybe some junk silver or whatever. Just a little thing, you can put it in your pocket. Allocation's nothing. But for these big players, big money out there, picture a semi-truck full of silver. What do you do with it? It's got to be guarded. People will steal it. Picture they go out and buy $7 million worth of this stuff, which is nothing for big money. Allocation's a problem for them. They go out and buy cryptocurrencies, no problem. Elon Musk goes out and buys Bitcoin. What does it happen? They transfer it to his offline wallet, and that's that. One and done. Big problem if he's going to go out and buy $1 billion worth of silver and allocate it. It's a logistical nightmare for big players. It's been keeping them out. But we saw Palantir come in and buy gold and take allocation. One of the first ones. They will solve the allocation problem, these big players, if they get scared. If they get scared that everything's going to collapse and all their Fugazi's going to fly out the window, they will solve the allocation problem. And then there'll be a mad scramble. So that's what's going on, basically. Let's move on to Kryptos now. We're looking at 2.2 trillion, and it's been dropping this morning. There's a little bit of a bearish going on within the financial markets today. You know, that's because the wheels are coming off of everything. Bit by bit, the wheels are starting to come off of the entire world's financial system right now in real time. That's because it's all structured wrong. MMT will never work. It reminds me of an old farmer coming in. You know, he says to his wife, I've been picking that cow up all year. I carry her out to the farm. She weighs 300 pounds, a cow. I carry her across the farm, right? And he says, I can fly. He says to his wife or whatever, you know. He says, I'll grab my bootstraps, and because I can pick up 300 pounds and I only weigh 160 pounds, I should be able to fly. And he grabs his bootstraps and pulls for all of his might on the straps on his boots. It doesn't work. MMT will never work. Modern monetary theory. You can't get rich just from running the printing press. In fact, it's the quickest way to make everybody dirt poor. The way the system is structured as a Ponzi scheme. The whole thing, everything. All of the other fiat currencies out there, they were all pegged to the dollar, and the dollar was pegged to gold. Picture it like a hot air balloon, right? And all the other fiat currencies are attached with ropes to this one big hot air balloon that's got a US dollar written on the side of the hot air balloon. And it's got a rope holding it to the ground. And it's a big bar of gold holding it down. And Nixon comes over with a pair of scissors and he cuts that rope. And the US dollar starts to float off free, along with all the other fiat currencies that are tied to it. Free off into the stratosphere. Well, they're going to float up and up and up and up into the air until they all pop. That's what's happening. We're going to lose the whole system. And not that far in the future, it's when investors and everybody out there starts to get this mindset. I better spend this money as fast as I get it because this money's losing value. And you can see how close we are to people getting to that mindset. That they're losing confidence in all this. They're losing confidence in the system. And the system's starting to shudder and shake, and the wheels are starting to come off. This is what's going on. You know, and how much longer will it take? I don't exactly know. I'm just wondering if we can avoid a major Lehman-style moment in the financial system till Christmas. If we can last until Christmas before we run into a Lehman type moment, and we have a 2008 style event before Christmas even, I'm wondering. But in the next year, all I see next year is just turmoil, constant turmoil. I mean, the whole thing is just fly to pieces next year. I really don't think we're going to make it through 2022 without the wheels completely flying off of this thing. I'm thinking to myself, probably that's when the wheels are going to fly off, is the second half of 2022. The wheels are really going to fly off of this thing. What a mess. Dow Jones Industrial Average today is down 265 points at 35,103. It might be responding somewhat to what's going on over there in China. Let's take a look now at the crude oil. It's 68.61. It's down 68 cents on the day. So things are bearish today. We got the MOVE index, which has been dropping lately. It's almost down into the 40s again, 53.26. Bonds and rates today is kind of a big story because we're getting some big movements in the bonds today to the upside. Treasury yields are rising today, and it's fairly considerable. It's on the U.S. 10-year, it's 5.3 basis points, which is a large move. We're looking at 1.37. And we're looking at 1.99 on the U.S. 30-year. So the U.S. 30-year is almost ready to go over 2%. Now we're going to take a look at the US dollar index, which is rising today. We got a rising dollar today at 92.52. But it's rising against the other fiat currencies that are as bad as itself, or worse. A little bit of nervousness out there in the markets today. They're kind of running to the dollar, you know. When are they going to realize the dollar is not the safe haven? The safe haven out there, the real safe haven is gold. Gold. When they get really frightened. So in the first stages, when the wheels start to come off, guys, I don't think they're going to run into gold. In fact, they might dump it. Or dump the paper gold. Dump it, but that determines the price of gold, you know, and silver too. During the initial stages, the wheel starts to come off, you know, they get margin calls and stuff and whatever. But when it really starts to deepen, the fear trade's going to come into play, and it's going to be massive. And then it's going to turn into a fear trade of not losing out. It's going to be a rush into the real commodities. And, you know, I'm going to tell you guys what, gold and silver being the primary head of this. I think when they really run with gold and silver, the moves upwards in price, when it finally does happen, and in my mind, it's inevitable. When it finally does happen, I think it's going to outstrip what we've seen cryptocurrencies do. I think it's going to be bigger. You know, and an awful lot of people out there are saying, oh, I missed it when cryptocurrencies. I remember when Bitcoin was $200. We're going to see the same sort of thing happen with gold and silver, and you haven't missed it. I know you're suffering right now. Let's take a look at the price again. Look at it. It's just sick what they've been doing with it. Trading these paper derivatives products. It affects the price of the... It's like the tail wagging the dog. Well, I'm going to tell you what. They run out of silver. It's going to break this market. And you guys will be vindicated. Stackers around the world will be vindicated. But I can't see behind the scenes. I don't know when it's going to break. It could break right away, or it could break months and months. They might have months and months of inventory still that they can clear through. Just don't know exactly what's going on behind the scenes with this. But I just got a gut feeling that they're running out. Thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe. We'll catch you guys in the very next episode. Bye-bye.